Welcome back, everybody. This is Hayden, your community/team manager for ChoccyMilkmen. You may have seen me on stream killing it on Bad North.
Oh,
and
yeah.
by killing it, I mean getting
Not
killed.
Bad North, you bitch. It was Battle Brothers.
Battle Brothers? Yeah, my bad. I totally lied
It's
to y'all.
okay.
I'm sorry.
I forgive you.
Get used to it.
They'll forgive you.
Something new we're gonna try out. This is a podcast series where we're gonna go over how we're building this YouTube channel and how we're building this community.
Yes.
And kind of give everyone an insight onto how in the world you build a YouTube channel without any financial support from the outside. And kind of show you what it's like, because you hear all the time like, oh yeah, you should go on YouTube, but what is it like when you actually try to go on YouTube and you don't hit like super duper success in the first 2 months? So
whenever I was like younger, I would watch the YouTubers and be like, oh yo, that looks super easy playing video games for a living, but you start to do it and it ends up being a big project and taking a lot of time,
like a full-time job.
Yeah, and I'm willing to do it because I love what I do right now, but it's not for everyone. It's not as easy as it may look, and that's why I think a lot of people quit early on.
So this podcast is just to document kind of what Ryan and us are going through, specifically what Ryan's going through for today, and kind of share with our community, like, even though it seems like there's only roses, there are bumps in the road, and it is kind of hard to do this. So we're super excited to start this podcast series and share it with all of our loyal fans. I selected 4 questions out of my head, and then 1 from the Discord and from the stream.
Yeah, so if you guys, with that in mind, if you guys have questions in the future that you want to ask, we will answer a few every single podcast.
Absolutely. They're in the Q&A section, so go and enter those. And if you ask like how big my nipple is, I might just show you, but also that's not a great question.
Somebody asked what pasta, or if we ate pasta for breakfast, and I don't, but I'm not probably going to answer that kind of question on the stream every time.
Okay, so let's go and jump into it. This is raw and pretty much unedited, so you're going to hear...
It's raw!
It's raw. Ryan has never heard these questions before, so it might take a little while to answer because he's kind of, not big brain.
Dyslexic and whatever,
So, first of all, let's go ahead and talk about what has been your favorite part of creating the channel.
Okay, so... there's been a lot of great parts to making the channel, definitely a lot of struggles too, but my favorite part, I think the part that brings me the most joy, is seeing comments and hearing feedback from people about how much they like the channel. And that's not because it feeds my ego. I mean, it feels good to know that people like my stuff, but I like it more so because I know that that I brought joy to somebody that day. And right now it's bringing joy to like 20 people a day, but I keep going because I know in the future I could be possibly doing that for hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, and making people laugh makes me feel really, really good. It makes
well, you're either making them laugh or they are like in a mental hospital because they're so angry.
What do you the Legend 27, that's been to today. We've received like one that was like kind of negative, but besides that, the Legend 27's comment has been like the only like pure hatred negative comment that we've gotten so far. And with some of the shit that Alex says, it's kind of surprising, and it is really motivating to have all this support and very little negative feedback for starting off.
We definitely are in a certain niche of the market that we appeal to indie games that don't really care about our language.
For the most part,
that's gonna change. It's not gonna be as insulting as far as the language we use as we kind of progress through YouTube. But also we have to stick with our niche of we're gonna say fuck, or we're gonna say like, you piece of shit, you should go die in a hole.
Or with Alex, sometimes he's going to talk about Bernie Sanders banging it out with his grandma, and that's just kind of part of it. I mean, Alex going off to Texas I think is really going to make it a lot more
wait, do they know about that now?
Child friendly. They're going to know it by now, because this is going to be posted after the stream.
So let's go ahead and talk about it then. Because
I think we should add that as a whole subject.
I'm doing it right now.
All right.
So next question, that is not really a question, but now it's a question. One of our main Choccy-Milkmen, Alex, is actually departing for the summer to Texas.
Oh, no.
A long ass way away. In order for us to keep up the YouTube channel, we have to have certain people step up into positions such as me or such as
we're not
special
gonna,
guest.
We're not gonna tell people who this. Oh well, they'll know by now because it'll be by.
Well, don't worry about it. Don't tell them.
Zach's gonna be helping out too. It'll already
Zesty Baby
by
Skin?
now. Yes, the Zesty Baby Skin. My good friend Zach, the Spaniard, bless you, is going to be coming to help us out, and he's a real fun guy. Really thankful to have him. I'm also gonna have Hayden help me out with some videos. We might play some Rocket League, or some other games.
Drunk. I wish.
I mean, you can be. It's up to you, dude. And then I might have my girlfriend on the show. So if you guys want to see Allie, me and Allie will bitch at each other like me and Alex do sometimes. So that'll be a good time. So let me know if you want to see her on the channel. But yeah, what does that mean that Alex isn't going to be here? Well, for one, it means it's going to require a lot less of me editing out stupid shit that I can't put in the videos. So like, you guys probably think some of the things Alex says is just atrocious, but I have to make the executive. It is. It is. But I have to make the executive decision more often than not to cut out some of the stuff that Alex talks about.
And we still have to appeal to our niche of not family-friendly content, which is super hard to do today on YouTube.
Yeah. And so some of the stuff that Alex says probably wouldn't offend fans, but what I'm looking at now is gaming companies or future sponsorships. We're gonna say dumb shit. That's just us, but I want them to understand that while we do say dumb shit, we're also professional enough to carry ourselves, and we will do a good job at showing off their games or products or whatever it may be.
So, kind of motioning us getting out of order in these questions here, but let's talk about sponsorships and collabs, because we actually had a collab that we spent a ton of time on a video, and they told us they wouldn't, go through what they promised they'd do because we weren't friendly, but we never actually got any we never got them to tell us what they wanted from our video. So we were kind of pissed off because they just told us to waste time. We wasted 6 hours of time, and then they don't help us.
It takes a lot to edit the videos, and so I'm not gonna bash them too hard here because they are a gaming studio, and I want again to carry that type of professionalism that we are mature enough to work with these big companies, okay? But I am using their name, and here's why. Because what they did was not okay.
Very much not professional.
So, Fancy Fish Games, they said if we played their game aground, that they would show our channel off on social media. Now, later on down the line, that's not going to do much for us, but here as a small channel, showing our channel on their social media is big for us. We will get a lot of exposure that way, and it's just a big help to us. So I was very excited about this one because Fancy Fish is a bigger studio, and being exposed on their social media is great for us. So I made the video, I uploaded the video. To start off with, Fancy Fish Games was already a day late on their deal. I said the day I uploaded, I would like for you to upload something about our channel so that people can come see our video, and our video can get a lot of views the first day. They're already a day late. They messaged me at like 11 p.m. that night, and I don't know where they're based. They could be based somewhere else. I think they're a United States company, but I'm not positive on that. They may be British, but they messaged me that night and say, "Hey, we forgot. It's late. We'll do it tomorrow." And I'm like, that kind of ticks me off. But I didn't say that to them, because they're helping us.
Professionalism,
Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, fine. Tomorrow we'll probably get as many views as we would have today. It wasn't like a weekend, like a Sunday to a Monday kind of thing. That would probably hurt us. It was like a Tuesday to Wednesday kind of thing. So, I waited, and then the next day I get a big long message, and that message was like, it just pisses me off thinking about it. That message was like, "Hey, we reviewed your content, your video you made for our game, and it's not age appropriate for our social media, for their Twitter, for their Instagram.
And that would have been fine if they had given us qualifiers when they first told us they collab, but we didn't have anything. And they might have something on their page that says this is what collab should do. We didn't get a single thing. It was just a spoken agreement of we'll do this if you do that. So we did this. And as a community manager that's supposed to deal with Fancy Fish, I wasn't instated at that time. But
it wasn't. Yeah, it was before Hayden was
the
in
issue
his position.
is now, of course, we're not going to deal with like any legal things, but a spoken agreement is still technically an agreement.
It's a contract.
And so there is indeed a spoken contract. I don't know if it would hold up in this point. I'm sure some of you Lars on YouTube would love to correct me, but them saying they'll do something and then introducing qualifiers when the job is done is not ethical in my opinion. And if they're not willing to go through with the project, even if the outcome is not what they wanted, I just think that is a big issue. So if you are a small YouTuber, sorry, I don't recommend working with Fancy Fish, even if you are friendly, because they introduced qualifiers later down the road that they should have clearly known that our content was not what they're looking for.
Yeah, they should have reviewed that beforehand, and that's the big...
Watch 30 seconds of any of our videos.
Yeah, no, it's probably in the first 10 seconds where I put the little clip beforehand, it probably shows, us saying some dumb shit that that's not family friendly. And the last thing I wanted to say was, how old are these kids that are on your social media? Because there's an age qualification for kids to be on social media. It's like, what, 13?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 13-year-olds shouldn't be watching our stuff. That's its own debate. But what I'm saying is, if they're old enough to be on social media, the odds are they're probably seeing this kind of stuff, and
already
they're mature enough to know that, like, if they don't want to hear that, they don't have to watch the video. And that's not on Fancy Fish for advertising our stuff. They're advertising our stuff because we did them a favor. That's a business deal, and that shouldn't, who they endorse to show off their game should not affect
I mean, it does just because of how like YouTube works and how that does. But
sometimes,
the main issue we're kind of looking at right now is there is a spoken agreement, and because we are a small YouTube channel, we can't say anything about it. We don't have a team of lawyers at our back ready to defend us whenever we get hit with a copyright strike, or a team of lawyers to hit up, whenever someone breaks an agreement. And so it's hard as a small YouTube channel to get collabs that are worth anything, because if they say no after you've already spent the time, what are you going to do about it? Sure, I could go to court and be like, hey, Fancy Fish, you didn't do this, but would that be worth it for me? Absolutely not.
Nah.
So we lost 6 to 8 hours, and we're kind of mad. And we're here to tell you that if you're going into a collab or into an agreement with a gaming company, you need to make sure they know your content. You also need to make sure that there are qualifiers in set before that and that it is signed. Because these spoken agreements are just not going to work.
Well, I did take business law, and there's a lot of technicalities in it, but I do believe that some spoken agreements are considered legally binding contracts.
Yeah, I've been, we've been in the same class. We've both been over that.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't want to be like, I don't want to sit here and be like, I'm a lawyer, because I'm definitely not. So there might be something different, but we know enough to be dangerously stupid at law. So here, just the act of them totally disregarding what we put into it and not getting it. Like, if they paid us like $15 and they were like, listen, you wasted time, that's our bad for not checking your content, I would be like, that makes sense, because it is your fault for not checking our content. But they didn't. They just told us, sorry, we can't use your shit because it's shitty. Like, so in the future, whenever we have collabs like that, we need a signed document. We need to make a signed document that says you will follow through this no matter the product. Because it is like, I mean, no matter the product, having qualifiers on it too. All that
Not
to
that
say,
there's anything wrong with that.
We'll move on to we'll move on to the next question. But
yeah, well, I wanted to talk just briefly, because we did spend a long time on that.
We're moving on to the question that we were actually supposed to answer. So
okay. I was going to talk
about
the good sponsors, not just the shitty.
So let's talk. So all that to say, sorry guys. Make sure you have set agreements. Don't just be like, okay, yeah, we'll do this, and you'll sponsor us, because they won't.
Yeah.
They're
good summation of that. Yeah.
So the next question is, what is your experience with game developers, sponsorships, and collabs? And we've had a terrible experience of them being total assholes, and we've had a fantastic experience. I'm sure you want to talk about Rude Racers.
Yes. Rude Racers was one that was really great. Famous Dog, I love you guys. You guys are amazing. Your game is great, and I love what you guys do. Another great one was Abulite Studios. That video did really well. It hit 100 views the other day, which is pretty good for us. And then trying to think of who else. There's so many people to name. Eric Preston made Vault Tomb of the King. A great guy, a fantastic game. Eric, your game is going to be huge. We also worked with Storm on the game jams for our streams. Did I say Daniel De Noronha yet?
I don't know. But
Daniel's great.
The question is, like, what makes the experience with a game dev good, and what makes the experience with a game dev bad?
Okay, so what makes it good is when they communicate well, and you get like in a sense your money's worth. Now there's no money going around right now, but what I mean by that is you played a game that is good and you got out of it what you wanted to get out of it. So you got the amount of views out of it, you got the amount of subscribers out of it that you wanted to get out of that. And I think it's really, really fulfilling when you also give that developer what they wanted out of it. So
like
selling
a great
their
review.
game.
So let's talk specifically about Rude Racers, because I was included in I was kind of included in that video because
yeah.
we had some
It's
tech
complicated.
issues. Don't worry about that. We love the game. It's a simple game. It really is a simple game. But it's $1 and it's on Steam, and it is absolutely worth $1.
Is it $1 or $2?
It's $1.
Okay.
We sat here and played for 45 minutes, and then we realized we need to actually record a video. So it was super fun. And so when we were able to play it, we got back to the developer like, hey, we had a bit of an issue recording, so we're not gonna be able to post it till later this week. But it is so fun. And then on top of that, I sent an email to him, like, to the devs, like, y'all, we love this game. I'd love to be able to, give out keys to our loyal viewers. Can I buy some?
Yeah.
And they just gave us 5 keys outright. And that's only $5. But that's 5 versions of the game that our community does not have to buy. And that's huge when you can say,
great.
For a stream, we're going to give 5 keys
Very
away
nice
to this
of
awesome
them.
game that you're going to watch us play during the stream. That was huge during the stream. Just a game dev like that who cares and clearly sees that you need help and is willing to put in the effort, that makes such a difference. It just does.
Yeah.
So,
for sure. I think every single sponsor that we've worked with, besides the one example we gave of Not Good, has been fantastic. If I haven't named your studio or your name, don't feel bad, because all of you have been very helpful and really great to us. And advice to those who are starting to make a channel or want to make a channel,
make a Rude Racers video.
Yeah,
straight up,
check it out. But when you're looking at these developers, look for smaller developers who have decent games, because you don't want to play a bad game. And we had an experience with that, and there was a game that we just didn't think was ready yet.
It killed our
fun.
We got blue balls for life at that moment.
It was tough to make content out of it, and we made a video, but we decided to not release it, because if we had released that, we wouldn't have been okay with it. To show you guys that we don't want to show our community games that we don't think is worth their time. We want to give you guys, good recommendations on games to buy if we're going to be doing that. So that's something you need to make sure beforehand, though, because that developer gave me a key and I felt bad about not playing that game. And I offered to help him get his game to where it wanted to be, and I haven't heard back from him. If he still wants to do that, I would be happy to help him.
Because when we were playing that, we saw areas where there could be improvement. The issue is, even if we do get a key for a game like that, does it appeal to our audience?
Yeah.
Did we do our research?
Yeah.
And I got to
We
be
should
honest
have
with you,
researched beforehand though.
it's
and seen
hard
if
to
it was good
research
or not.
smaller communities, like smaller
Yeah.
game devs though. Like
Yeah.
we're at an impasse here of, can we see everything we need to know about a game before we go into it?
Yeah.
And I think if it's on Steam, absolutely. But if it's on a website that isn't Steam, that doesn't give all the photos, all the descriptions, all the user recommendations, we have no way of entering that.
And I will say this game was on Steam, but the pictures and videos of it made the game look like something that it wasn't.
And that's the issue.
Yeah. That's
So-
when we started playing the game, we were like, this is not what it was made out to
A
be.
little different.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to take a bite there because that game was $15 and we got a free key for it. And instead of this game dev getting anything out of this partnership, all he got was us telling him, sorry, this just doesn't do it for us. We can't like release this to our community and say, yeah, we like this game. We just can't.
And I think he would rather us not release it than bash his game. And I couldn't honestly tell my community, and I would never lie to my community. So I couldn't honestly tell my community like, yo, go buy this game. I'd be like, if I had to give a review on that, I'd be like, you know, I don't really know if you guys should go buy this. And I think he would rather us not say that than, you know. And it's not a $15 game for $15, you know. You wouldn't have gotten your money's worth for that.
So I buy a lot of games on Steam because I'm
Yeah.
a huge nerd. And I measure games by their expense of, if it's a indie game, I measure it each dollar. I need that dollar to give me an hour or half an hour. If it's a AAA,
At least, yeah.
I want each dollar to give me upwards of 3 hours. So that means that Call of Duty is $60. I need 180 hours on that for that to be worth it for me. This game, I would have got 30 minutes in and spent $15. Again, not bashing this game, but it just doesn't appeal to us or our community, so there's no reason to do it. Let's move on.
Yeah,
Let's go
for
and
sure.
talk about, what do we want this sponsorship? How do we want our sponsorships to look like in 3 months? Do we want to get paid? Do we want to still be in the same section of every single day looking for more and more opportunities? I mean, what is the predicted growth of the channel in 3 months, and how does that relate to sponsorships in general?
Okay, so I don't believe that I will ever buy a game to play for a sponsored deal. I think if you're gonna sponsor a deal with somebody, you need to give them a key to that game, because they're going to be doing you a favor by showing it on their channel. So at least sponsored deals in 3 months, I would like to get free keys. On top of that, money-wise, it depends on where we are with subscriber count in 3 months. You know,
If we gain 0 subscribers from now until then, which that happens, y'all suck.
it won't happen.
We will.
We've gotten 70 subs in the last 5 days, so
That's fantastic. Fantastic growth.
big
Yeah.
thank you.
Thanks,
Big
guys.
thank
thanks.
you.
Thanks.
But
Here's the deal, because we both kind of like need say over this, because I'll be taking more of a active role. If we hit 1,000 subs in the next 2 months, 3 months, which would be crazy, where do we want us and our relationship to sponsors and game devs to be when we hit 1,000?
okay, so at that point, I think is where your YouTube channel transitions from a hobby to a business, because you get monetized at 1,000 subs. Now that depends on if you have 4,000 watch hours. But
Watch.
assuming that you do have 4,000 watch hours, you get monetized at that point. So it's a business, which means it's a way of us making money to, earn a living. And at that point, you have to start looking at your channel from a monetary point of view, and not just a growth point of view.
So, like, is this game worth my possible revenue?
Yeah. Well, so we would have to look at, as far as when it comes to sponsorships, we would have to look and say, how big's the company? How much is the game? Because if we're going to ask for a key for a $60 game, I don't know if we would get anything in return. But if it's a key for a $2 game, like Famous Dog's game, you might want to look into asking for a little bit of money for that, I think. Because even if you do get a key for that one, it's not going to be, you're getting $2.
So let's explain what we've been doing so far. We've been doing promotional deals where we, I guess we should explain this earlier, so you might want to put this before all this and then you'll come back.
I mean, we kind of talked about it. I told people that like they were going to promote it on their channel.
Well, cross promotion meaning we will promote your game on our channel if you promote our YouTube channel on yours. So Famous Dog, we made a video about it. We made a video about Rouge Racers. Loved it. Big Boo Betty, love her.
Oh, she was great.
The casting couch,
many reasons.
you know.
Big Dick Amateur.
What was it? Big Dick Dilo, whatever.
Whatever.
Don't worry about it. Actually, if you don't know who this is,
if you're interested, go check it out.
I want cross promotional to be a little bit different when we hit 1,000. I want to get reached out to, like, hey, y'all work with Famous Dog, and they had a great time with y'all. Can we work with you? If I know that may be really hard to do at 1,000. But I figure if we can get it in enough of these indie devs, if Famous Dog has another thing they want to do, they'll reach back out to us and say, hey, we have a new project we want to do. We want to hit that margin of great relationships at 1,000 or before 1,000. Because I consider our relationship with Famous Dog very good.
Me as well. Same with many of the studios that we've worked with. And that's another big thing. You want to be polite and nice to everyone, because even if they're not nice to you, if they like the way that you did things, then in the future that's really going to pay off if they make future games, which gaming studios usually do. So
not because we want to suck ass and have a brown nose, but because
I like that. That was funny.
But because we want to continue producing content for games that fit in our niche, and it's getting harder and harder every day to find videos that fit in our niche. So me and Ryan are going to stream Rocket League one of these days.
Oh, it'll be
because we're having a hard time finding games that fit into our ever-evolving environment. Corona. When Alex leaves, I have to be here more often in the recording studio, and so does Zach. So we have to find games that appeal to me and Zach, so that the audience still has the original experience of actual joy. And that's hard to come by, especially that first 45 minutes of Rouge Racers. There was so much joy in that it was hard to replicate, because that was actual genuine enjoyment of something new you've never seen before. And especially with indie games, this kind of ties into our next question, which we're going to move on to, of what does making a video look like? It's hard to produce genuine new enjoyment twice. I don't think you can do it.
So Hayden's right. It is very hard to replicate that joy that you have when you first play a good game. You can have fun with good games all you want, but there's just something special about that first time you play a new game.
And it shows.
Yeah, for sure.
You can guarantee if you watch the first episode of a series of ours that we've never played a game before, there's something different about the first episode that will draw people in and want more.
Because you make dumb jokes about the characters or the environment or anything like that.
Big Boo Betty.
Yeah, like Big Boo Betty. It was way more funny when Hayden said Big Boo Betty the first time than the second time.
Or the 16th
or
time.
Or the 6th, yep. But because it was just new to us and funny. But once you say it, give a name to somebody or give a voice to somebody the first time, you can't really replicate the humor. For us, for you guys, it'll still be as funny because it's the first time. But for us, it's just like, it brings more joy and we have more passion when we're doing that kind of thing because it's new to us.
So let's bring up a YouTuber that I watch quite often. His name is Markiplier, and I watch him because I watched him ever since I was like a kid, and I just can't stop. And also, he does a great job of showing genuine content, in my opinion. Your opinion might differ, and that's okay. But I can't imagine having a multi-million-dollar subscriber base and having to produce genuine content over multiple series of like 20 videos on the same game. It gets to the point, in my opinion, where we are the ones creating content and no longer are the games creating content anymore. So say we had a Rude Racers series, 5 videos.
Yeah.
It is a simple game.
We would
But
have
it's
to
great.
look for a lot more things that are funny to us, you know.
But there would be content produced by us, and
Mm-hmm.
through Rude Racers, we'd give that content to y'all.
Yeah, I agree with that. And this question I want to get into for the people who are interested in starting their own channel or anything like that. You asked the process of making a video. I've been blessed enough to have many people comment on our videos and tell me that they look very professional and like, go ahead, play it so that you can not ruin my train of thought. All right, thanks for that. That is a voice recorder with Alex saying honk on my titties.
Honk honk.
Making professional content, I think is possible from any point.
How expensive is our setup? Not the computer, not that 8-year-old screen.
Yeah.
But just the
Just the
microphones,
mics, yeah.
this, and then a computer that can,
we got the soundproofing too.
run without cooking an egg on top of it.
Yeah. So, you gotta have a decent computer, but if you're thinking about getting into this stuff, you most likely already have one. If not, you can build one. That's its own thing. For us, we already had a computer. I have a gaming laptop.
Yeah, we got plenty of computers.
It's a decent laptop. It runs the games fine, as you guys have seen. But after that, we had to, we have to make it sound professional and look professional. Okay, so. First thing you need OBS or another screen recording software. OBS can be kind of janky, but it's the most recommended. It's kind of complicated, but it gets the job done. You have to figure it out. It takes a lot. We did about a month of research before making the channel, but we'll get into that I think it's a different question.
It's the last question, yeah.
So for the room, for our stuff, we mostly had to focus on sound and editing for our setup. So I'll start off with the editing software. If you guys want this, it's not cheap, but you have to have something to edit your videos. I'm not aware if there's any free options out there, but our editing software we use is Adobe Premiere, and it's $20 a month.
It's a bitch of a software.
It's
awesome, by the way.
It's the best thing I've ever worked with. I learned it fully in about a month.
Well, fully.
I mean, there's always stuff you can learn and do with it, but like adequately enough to make videos, I learned in
and
about
make
a month.
highly like quality videos.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of tutorial videos out on it because it's a widely used platform. So $20 a month for that. So you start off $20 for that. We use soundproof foam in our room. If you didn't use soundproof foam, it wouldn't sound as good as our mics sound, but it would still be maybe doable.
And how expensive were the mics plus the foam?
The mics plus the foam. So the foam, I think, was about $50.
And that
50 to
covers an
60.
entire wall plus
Small patches around. It's
them.
50 square foot panels for that.
Okay.
And you can find those on Amazon. If you do find those on Amazon, use our affiliate link. We get a little something for that. It's no extra cost to you though. And then you can also find, I think I'll have our setup in the description, but we also have our mics. These mics are fantastic. They're toner microphones. They come with a stand, like an adjustable arm stand, so we can move it up, down, left, right, anywhere we want. Clamps down onto your desk. Easy setup. It has a pop filter. The mic, another filter, like a little mic condom that you can put over top of it.
I like that mic condom.
Yes, I've been using that one for a while.
I won't get pregnant by this mic anytime soon.
These mics, $35 a piece. And then with the stand, with everything that I just talked about.
So we're talking $150 plus tax.
Yeah, and that's for 2 mics for us. But then you got to go. These mics have to have phantom power. So you can get a little $20 phantom power thing. It won't sound as good, but it'll sound okay. I have a $60, and I forget what the name. It's a Newer, isn't it?
Newer.
Yes.
Newer.
The newer NW021A, I think, is what that said up at the top of it. $60, but it's a little sound interface. You can adjust the volume, you can adjust the high and low, and it allows you to plug up to 4 different microphones into it, so that's great. And yeah, so all in all, about a $200 setup with the soundproof phone.
Not including computer.
And not including our computer. But, that's a lot. But all of that's a one-time cost except for the $20 a month. And I think that's the bare minimum of what you need to make quality content on YouTube.
And how do we edit the videos? Do we have an editor?
That's me.
So is that a yes or no?
Yes. I'm the editor right now. In the future, I wouldn't mind having somebody else do that because it is a lot. But as for starting off and growing, I don't mind it. It's actually a real good time editing videos because I get to create something for people to watch. And like I said before, the feeling of people are really going to like this. People are really going to think this is funny is real good. Alex helps me out a little bit. He gets the pictures and the videos, and then he sends them to me, like the memes and stuff that you see in each video. And then I go through. It's a process editing, so you have to go through and you have to cut out the parts you don't want, delete them, and then you have to merge it all together. Then I go through. Sometimes I get rid of F-bombs. I'm just kind of lax on that now. People say that stuff all the time. I mean, if you want to act like it's not okay to say, you can do that, but you're gonna hear it everywhere you go.
I mean, it depends on the context.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna hear it in life, so it is what it is. But I go through, edit that out, mess around with the sound, add in the videos and pictures that Alex sends me, make sure everything runs smoothly together. And then onto the upload where you have to make the description and tags and stuff. But that's kind of what it's like to make a video. I mean, it gets much more complicated. You have to add the zooms and stuff like that too. But overall, it just takes practice making good videos. I made a mock video before we made our first RimWorld videos, and I kind of understood the software before getting to the RimWorld stuff. And the RimWorld video took me a lot longer to edit than the rest of our videos have because I was still getting to know the software. But once I got to know it, it's pretty easy to do whatever I want to do with it now.
So it takes us anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes to 2 hours to get the correct amount of content for a 10 to 30-minute video.
Yes.
So let's say average, it takes us an hour per video to get the amount of content recorded.
Yeah, that's a good assumption.
How much time per video is it going to take you to start recording, finish recording, edit, and then upload and share with our community?
Okay, so the hour, if we're using the hour average for the video, then we're going to go an hour for that. I have to go back and edit it, which is going to take an hour and a half to 2 hours to cut out the parts I don't want. Then I review it with Alex. So if it's a 10-minute video, 10 minutes. If it's a 20-minute video, 20 minutes. However long the video is how long it takes to review. Alex then goes and takes about an hour or 2 hours to get the pictures and videos, and he sends them to me. And then going back through and adding that stuff in is probably another hour or hour and a half.
So combined,
say around 4 to 5 hours probably per video.
But it's spread out over 2 days.
Yeah, over 2 days. Sometimes I like to do more than one in a day just to get them out of the way.
Called batching.
Yes, batching.
If you don't know what that is,
yes.
It is, shout out to Brady Jordan, it's getting enough content for multiple videos in one sitting. So if you watch and YouTubers have face cams and they don't do this, they don't change clothing, you'll see them in the same clothing in 2 different videos, and that's called batching. So that being said, we have to batch a ton now because it's hard to schedule with so many different people,
work,
guest
school,
stars,
all that good stuff. And I was also talking about editing the videos. I sometimes edit more than one in a day too, just so that I can have free days throughout the week.
Because he's a babe.
I'm a babe.
You're a big titty babe. You're my big titty goth girlfriend.
That's what I want to hear.
We
dude.
all
That's
need
what
one
I
of
wanna
those.
hear.
We all need a big titty goth girlfriend or boyfriend if your boyfriend is big titty and goth.
Move on to the next question, Hayden.
Okay, let's do it. So far, let's review. We talked about what's your favorite part of the YouTube channel, and you said squishy squishy, my channel and my community.
Yes, I love my community. You guys are great.
What does
Keep
making a
it
video
up.
look like? We spend a bunch of fucking time getting shit together and then giving it to y'all for to laugh at us. And then what's your experience? We've had good and bad. Last question from us specifically, trying to give y'all more insight into what this has been like. Up to today, explain how we went from 0 to now. What was the start, and explain making the team and kind of the goal for the next 30 days, the goal for the next 90 days, and the goal for the next year.
Okay, so making the team came later on. So for starters, me and Alex had to come up with the vision. We've always wanted to do YouTube together, and it hasn't always wanted to be gaming. I mean, we do stupid stuff all the time in public too. So we thought about making it a public thing, but with the corona and with just because of other reasons, we decided gaming would be best right now. We decided to make the channel. We came up with some names. We threw around some good names. The only other one I can remember that we were considering at the time is Maturity Drought for our channel.
That's hilarious.
It's a pretty good one. But ChoccyMilkMen just feels right because me and Alex will down some gallons of chocolate milk whenever we're hanging out together. And I've had chocolate milk for like every day of my life for 15
This
years.
bitch drinks chocolate milk like it's water.
It's like fucking putting gas in a car, like how much milk I drink a
Okay,
week.
move on.
We came up with the name. We came up with, what we were going to be about. Then we needed some good art, and big thanks to Jenna for making our art. She did a really great job. Her Instagram is in our YouTube description if you want to check her stuff out. She puts art on there all the time, but she made that art for us, and I think that's very important for any starting off channels. Having good art, good thumbnails is huge because it's what people see when they come to your channel, and it can separate you from being a professional to not giving a shit. You know, I mean, you might give a shit, but people might assume that you don't if your thumbnails aren't good or if your page art isn't good. So having good page art really gets people, I think, to take us seriously when they come to the channel for the first time or see our videos.
It's more
for the first
professionalism,
time.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's more about professionalism. You want to come off as a channel that people will trust and people will want to work with and all kinds of stuff like that. So art taken care of. At first we had Alex making the thumbnails, and he did an okay job, but then we moved on to having Allie, my girlfriend, create the art for the channel, for the thumbnails. And she does a really great job with that. She makes the video thumbnails look more professional, which makes them more clickable whenever you see them on the main page. So that's really great to have. And then after we got over those first few videos where the sound was screwy,
Bad.
yeah, it was
Crappy.
I mean, the videos were okay. Just the sound made it very unappealing. We didn't know how to talk into our microphones, and the game sound wasn't working or was too loud. It was just a disaster as far as sound goes on those first few videos.
It's super easy for me to sit back here and say, "Hey guys, what's up?" and then get back real close, be like, "Hey guys, what's up?" and then get far again, be like, "Hey guys, what's up?" and
it makes us it makes a world of difference how close you are to the microphone.
I'm so close to y'all. I'm inside your ears. Can you feel my tongue? I can feel your ears. That's weird.
We gotta stop.
Yeah, I know. I'm drunk. I'm not drunk.
So after we got over that first hurdle, it's a learning experience. You have to learn for your own on a lot of things, but it's just, being persistent and keep going is how you grow to the size that we are currently at right now. So we've been learning. We are improving on sound. We're learning how to use the Elgato right now.
That didn't sound good. Sorry guys.
Why would you do that?
I tried my best and it didn't work.
And so moving forward, it's been a lot of work, and so that's why I wanted to build a team.
Hey, that's me. Can I talk about that? Give you a little rest.
1 second. I want to say I built the team because of how much work I've been doing, and creating the team hasn't really lightened that work yet. Now, not to say making the team was a bad idea, because I don't think it was a bad idea. Hayden, for example, has been busy with work, so he hasn't been able to lighten the load per se, but he today came over and we've been talking about a lot of things that will help improve productivity on the channel. So I think making a team is vital to a successful YouTube channel.
Even if that's 2 guys.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be 6 like we have.
Well, Alex doesn't have time either, so that's why I had to bring in other people.
It's hard to have I hear people, I see YouTube channels that have a full-time job and manage to put out really quality content. Props to you, dude.
Yeah.
I'm telling you what, you have no idea what the strain is to have a 7 to 4 or 7 to 5 or 8 to 5, then come home and want to record.
Yeah.
It's so hard because like whenever Ryan tells me let's record today, like I get off work and I'm like, God, that was a hard day. I'm drained. So props to anyone who has a full-time job and does YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
Great on y'all.
And so I think when you do make a team, you have to understand, like, if you're the person leading that team, if you're making the channel, like I've found myself more in a leadership role than I expected myself to when I made the channel. I don't know if I said that right, but
We're
you
working
understand
on
what
that.
I'm saying.
I mean, the team isn't perfect.
Yeah.
So don't expect everything to go right day one.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you have to be able to, you have to be willing to take control and lead that team and understand, yes, you do have a team who said they'll help you with this, but it's your team and your channel. And if you want to be successful, you have to put in the work vital. I put in 8-hour days, and that's just the way it is right now because I want to grow as soon as possible so that I can eventually drop out of college or quit my job, because that stuff has been shut down because of the virus right now, but it's coming back and it's going to be a big strain on me whenever that does come back, and I really hope my team will be here for me, and I have faith that they will.
All of us are leaving. We have no idea what the future holds. I'm going back to school.
Yeah.
Alex won't be here for the next 2 months.
Yeah, and we're going to have to just go with the flow on that, bringing in guest stars and just continue to make good content, even if it isn't with our normal people. And
so
that's just what it is.
If you've made it this far, go ahead and give us a comment. What do you think about multiplayer games? We've played a lot of indie single-player games, but we're going to have to do remote, like me at my house.
It's very possible we will have to do that.
It's just going to happen because there's not going to be enough time, and we might get locked down again. So
Yep.
Anyway, let's go ahead and move on.
Know.
We've done this too much. We're approaching on 52 minutes of record time.
I hope you guys are.
You won't hear all that. You only hear like 15 minutes, but
no, it'll be a good while.
We will have to update this. You'll have to edit the shit out of this video. Sorry.
I mean, just a little bit. I feel like it's flown really well.
Yeah, but I've said a lot of stupid crap. So. Anyway, so 30 days. We're looking for 30 days to hit 300 or 400 subscribers.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always holding out hope, crossing my fingers for that big boost that people talk about sometimes, where we might hit like 300 subs in one day. At the very start, I thought it was gonna happen because
with our video that got
I got 250 views. Our second video, or maybe it was more like our fourth or fifth video, but it was one of the really early videos. Just started going, like one day got 100 views, got 90 views like the next hour, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. And then it just died off after that. But I'm always hoping, holding out stuff for that, that one of my videos will pick up a lot of momentum and get a lot of views. But until then, you just gotta hope for steady growth and to continue doing what you're doing.
Today we made a chart on how to actually produce a video and keep all and kind of a QA, quality analysis and also quality assurance that all the videos are going to be the same and production wise. And our last step is move on and be happy with the results. Yeah. Even if a video does flop and the projected views are like, well, our community loves this, we should easily hit 250 views in the first 3 days, and we get like 60. Yeah. We still were able to put out quality content, and that's still a huge thing.
Yeah, that's some of my videos get 100 100 views, and that's
some get like 10.
great. And then you have days where I'm sitting there just staring at the analytics and it won't go up from 15 views for that entire day, and it's like what did I do wrong? But at the end of the day, you gotta just be happy with the fact that 15 people in the world wanted to watch your video, and 15 people in the world laughed at what you made that day, or at least you hope they did. And you gotta just take it for what it is and go step by step. And eventually, we started off making 20, 30 views. Recently we've hit 40, 50, 70 on a few, and so it's small growth right now, but it's growth. And what I've heard is once you hit a certain number, you have a great chance of hitting that spike where your content just shoots up. And I'm hoping that happens sooner than later, because of the fact that people tell us how
Professional
well-made and
well-made
professional our content is. Yeah.
So 90 days, we set a pretty lofty goal of saying within 90 days we want to hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And that is going to require quite a large boost. And if you're watching this and want to help us, shout out.
Just tell your friends, man. That's all that we can ask,
just slap it in the Discord channel that you visit every single day.
Yeah. Do what you can. We appreciate every little bit, and you guys have already been great getting your friends to join and chilling with us in the Discord. It's been a lot of fun, this journey so far, so thank you.
And it has been a journey. It's not like, how many months are you in right now?
I think it's 3 going on 4 right now.
So in 3 going on 4 months, we've managed to accumulate
254
a good number
subs,
a good number of people who've constantly come to our streams.
Yeah.
A Discord channel that grows 5-10 people every single day, that's pretty active. 250 something subs, but also we get plenty of unique views every single day.
On streams especially, we get like 30 a stream. That's amazing. That's really great.
This is it's slow moving, but we're here for the long run, and so we're excited to keep going. The last question we have here is about merch. Now we're not gonna sit here and be like, yo bitch, come buy our merch. Hey little kids, want to buy my merch?
No, I don't have any for you to buy yet, so
we don't have any.
It wouldn't matter if I wanted you to anyways.
We've had some constant memes like Hayden getting paid in the streams, and Jabina in the streams.
Yeah.
And just other like
Jabina.
Mo Lester, that'd be a great shirt to wear to your grandma's house. But seriously, guys, merch is kind of hard to say yes or no within the next 3 months, because if we go into another lockdown, what are we gonna do?
It's gonna be tough, no matter what. So here's where we stand with merch. We want to make ChoccyMilkMen into a brand. We want to make quality merch for you guys to buy. not just like stuff that advertises our channel, but we also want to make stuff that like
y'all enjoy
you would
and
want
you
to
want to
wear
wear
and is comfortable. So right now, Alex has a t-shirt press, and we considered making merch on that. And here's why we didn't, because that merch will be low quality, and it will be, it won't be worth the money that we have to ask for it to make a profit.
And let's not even talk about trying to ship to other countries today,
Oh,
because
yeah.
they will not let us.
Yeah, it's tough with the pandemic, and we want to give you guys quality items. We want our brand name to be, something that people want to buy.
So even though there may be 12 of you out there that are literally praying right now to get some
That Jabina, yeah.
it may not happen in 3 months.
It
And
might
that's sad,
not.
because it will be super easy for us to just make our own high quality shirts, because it's possible.
Yeah.
And just give and ship them to y'all, especially you people in England. But it's hard to get anything out of the U.S. right now, or into the U.S. I need parts for for my car, and I cannot get them in from China. So it's kind of hard to do everything right now. So while it's great that more people are at home and being safe and watching our YouTube videos,
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
fingers crossed.
If you're cool, I mean,
it makes it hard all around for us, because not only is it harder to get guest stars come in who feel comfortable to come sit very close to each other,
Yeah, like
record
almost
videos.
touching each other's butt cheeks.
Well, we do that anyway.
Duh. God
But
damn.
to also be willing to leave their house for extended periods of time, it's just crazy. And if I wore a mask,
Yeah, it
that's
wouldn't
what it would
sound
sound
good
like.
on the mic.
We're taking a risk doing this, but we need to get this content to y'all, because y'all have been awesome to us, and we love the community.
For sure.
And also, Corona ain't shit. No, I'm just kidding.
Suck it, Corona.
Corona is super dangerous. Do not make rash decisions today.
Yeah, but also fuck Corona.
keep. If you have any questions about Corona, go to the CDC, because we do not know anything about it.
I actually think I had Corona.
Okay,
at one point.
that's a story for another day.
Okay.
Because now you're fucking me over. That's all the questions we have today.
What the fuck? Now you're fucking me over. Shut the hell up, Hayden.
Whatever, guys. If y'all enjoyed this content, just go ahead and slap a like on the video and give us comments.
Yeah.
Give
Tell
us
us if
more
you
questions.
like seeing into our lives, you know.
This-
And we would
this-
love questions. That's yeah.
This really doesn't appeal to our niche of constant action, constant stupid funny. This is a serious sit down, and we're hoping that our community likes this, because it will be separate from it, but also included in. Well, this week, we had a sponsorship, and y'all watched the video. Here's what went on with that sponsorship. We can do that. You just have to tell us what you want. And if you don't want it, then too bad. We're gonna do it anyway.
We're gonna do it every 2 weeks, right? Is that what we've decided?
I think we're gonna do it every time we have major updates. So it could be, if we have enough content for 15-20 minutes, we can do it every week. But it might be 2 weeks sometimes.
I think that we can. I think we should definitely take Brady over here sometime and have him talk about the analytics of the channel,
because
he's our
Brady.
he's our
stick him in the
analytics
basement, and we're gonna make him tell us about
yeah, we're gonna
analytics.
talk to us, talk dirty to us.
50 subscribers. Ah!
Growing good.
Oh my god.
Brady is our analytics consultant, so we can have him
Brady.
come talk about what we need to do and what we've been
Sexy
doing good. And then we can have Alex come say some stupid shit sometime. I'm sure you'd love to do
What
that.
up, fuckers?
And we can have
that's how that will start.
we can have Zach come in and talk about what it's like coming on the channel, not being here since the beginning, because Zach's gonna be helping us probably not next week, but the week after that is when the videos with him are gonna start coming up, and he's also gonna be at the stream, which was 2 days ago. You can check it out on Twitter right now.
Wait, he was at the stream last.
I mean Twitter, Twitch. Fuck.
He was at the stream.
Yes, he was at the stream. He's coming. It's gonna be a big reveal. I hope you guys were so
I'm a
surprised.
terrible moderator.
What?
I'm a terrible moderator.
It's okay. It's been a close kept secret, because this is before the stream. But we could have him come talk about what it's like joining in and how he likes working with us and what he doesn't like about working with us. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good first podcast. I hope you guys stuck around till the end if you found it interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it helped you a lot, or was at least interesting to you if you're not looking to make a channel in the future, because we talked about a lot of stuff about, what we've been through so far.
And don't let this dissuade you. Like, if you're hearing us say it's been pretty hard, it's also very fulfilling.
Yes, it's, it isn't just playing video games for a living. It can be at first glance. It's not just that. It's hours of work, and you need to understand that before deciding it's what you want to do and you spend the money. But if it is what you still want to do, if you want to make people laugh for a living, that's one of the best jobs, and you can do it from your house, and you can just have that that fulfillance. Is that a word?
No, it's not.
I'm gonna use it.
That's
You can
fine.
have that fulfillance of knowing that you made people happy, and that's what I want to do with my life, is make people happy. So
You might graduate high
cool for
school,
me.
but not English.
oh dude, no. If you've watched our channel at all, I suck at English.
And that's fine. So we'll go ahead and end the podcast because we're kind of done and we're just rambling on. Shout
Yeah.
out to Avery for giving us the idea of having a podcast, because that's fucking genius.
Yeah, shout out to Avery. Thanks, Avery. This was a great idea. Thank you.
We had a lot of fun doing this. Shout out to all the collabs we've had so far, because there have been fantastic ones, and most of them have been fantastic to us.
And even if they're not fantastic all the time, that's how you learn. So shout out to you two, Fancy Fish Games, for sucking ass.
That's awesome. I hope they watch this and get angry and sue us.
I thought I was gonna bash them. That was kind of bad.
We definitely bashed them, but hey,
Yeah.
they wasted 8 hours of ours. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah,
Let us know
thanks.
if you like the content. Don't let us know if you don't, because don't break our hearts.
Whether this is your first video or your 48th video, I think that's how many videos we have up right now.
Or your last
We love
video.
you guys, and we really appreciate you spending your time here with us. It means the world to us, so thank you guys.
If we have 1,000 likes, we'll buy face cams. Bye.